Welcome to the T-TESS Appraiser Setup video. Today we're going to discuss how to get your Eduphoria account ready for the new appraisal system of T-TESS. After logging in, find the application on your desktop called Appraise and click the word Appraise. Upon clicking Appraise, you're going to have some tabs to the left side. I want you to find the tab that says Evaluations. My evaluations means I'm being appraised, and as principals, you may be appraised by the P-TESS system, but today we're talking about the T-TESS system, you appraising teachers. So click on the one that just says Evaluations. After clicking that, determine if you have multiple campuses like I do. I have to find the campus where I'm going to appraise. You may only have one campus already listed. These are the folks that I have already chosen to appraise. Your initial list is going to be blank. So I'm going to go down to Appraiser Setup. It's on the bottom left. When I click Appraiser Setup, because I'm assigned to multiple campuses, once again, I have to find the technology department. Yours will default to your assigned campus. And I have many people are assigned to my department, and I have to find the ones that I'm going to be responsible for appraising. So the first one is Brittany Branton. Now, Brittany Branton, I'm going to click her name. Brittany Branton is brand new to our department. For our T-TESS appraisal system in Brenham ISD, we're actually going to have two types of cycles. Cycle 1 appraisals will include a formal observation. Teachers new to the school district, teachers new to the profession, or any teacher that we have a concern about need to be appraised using the Cycle 1 appraisal system. Other teachers that have been in the district and are not of concern do not need a formal observation this year necessarily, and they will be in Cycle 2. We are asking that the principal at each campus to definitely take the 0-year brand new teachers and any teacher of concern. The assistant principals can take teachers new to Brenham ISD but not new to the profession, or teachers that are existing teachers that we don't have a concern about. But of course, all of this is at the discretion of the campus principal. So please check with him or her. Once I have found the person that I'm going to appraise, notice that I have to establish which cycle I'm going to appraise this person with. Now for Brittany, I'm choosing Cycle 1 because she is new to my department, and I click OK. Notice that she has a red star. Troy has been in my department, and therefore I'm not going to do Cycle 1 with him. I'm going to do Cycle 2. This is not his first year, therefore I'm not going to do a formal observation this year, although I may do it in consecutive years. And I'm going to click OK. Notice that his star is blue. So you'll always be able to distinguish the ones who are on Cycle 1 versus the ones who are on Cycle 2. Out here to the side, it also tells you the instrument that you'll be using, as well as telling you the number of walkthrough and observation documents and summative, if they're completed or not. This is a simple place to come back to if you ever need to look at who do you have left to evaluate, but there's other ways to do that as well. Okay, so I have set up my appraisal, my staff to my appraisals. The second thing I might want to do is to have the system notify me when I need to be doing some appraisal actions like walkthroughs or formal observations. So staying on this setup screen, notice that I have a second tab called Status Email. I can have Eduphoria send me a status email to me weekly or monthly, and then I get to pick what do I want Eduphoria to tell me. Give me the list of staff members, only the ones assigned to me for appraisal that need an observation. Tell me the ones that need a summative. And you could actually change this. Let's say that you did most of your walkthroughs and your formal observations in the fall and early spring, and then maybe by March, you just want an email weekly telling you which ones you haven't done a summative with. Then come back to the screen and change your choices. Let the system work for you so that you can be freed up to do other things on the campus, because we know you do many different types of things, but then it will remind you once a week, hey, make sure you get out there and do some more summative conferences. And then you can say update. So I have chosen which staff I'm responsible for appraising. I have assigned which cycle they're going to be using, which instrument basically I'm going to be using with them, and then I have set up my status email. All right, so next we're ready to appraise. So it is now the first 6 weeks of school. Your staff members have already completed a goal setting and self-assessment. Each staff member is required to set up 2 goals for him or herself for their own personal professional growth this year. So within the first 6 weeks of school, we need to make sure that we have had a conference. This is not a pre-conference. This is actually called the goal setting conference, which each member of the staff to take a look at those documents that they have already submitted to you. So I have contacted Brittany, and I'm ready to do her goal setting conference. I don't necessarily have an evaluation document for that, but I do have a way to check check off that I have done my goal setting for her. I click on Brittany, I click on appraisal status. Notice that this is everything Brittany has to do this year. It tells me what's required of her because of what cycle she's in. She's in cycle 1, so that requires a goal setting document, 2 walkthroughs, and 1 formal observation and a summative conference. Down here, I also have a checklist reminding me that I need to do a goals and professional development conference with her, a pre-conference and a post-conference on her observation, which we'll look at in just a second. So right now, we're only going to focus on what's happening right here in the first 6 weeks of school. So in the first 6 weeks of school, I need to make sure that I have seen the goals document from each one of my appraisees or my teachers. So let's go down to Troy. Okay, so here's Troy. He has submitted his goals. I can click on that and I can approve them. It'll have a little approval place right up here if I haven't already done so. And I can read these goals and send him a message if I want to. But what I do notice is that Troy has not submitted his goals and self-assessment document, because it would tell me right here that he had. Okay, let's go down and check Tom. Tom has written a goal. I have already approved it. Not only has he written the goal, we were practicing, and he actually marked it as complete already, which, boy, he must be a really good teacher if he's approved it before school's even started. But anyway, just saying that it would not actually be completed at this time. And then he has already submitted his 2016 T-TESS goals and self-assessment, so I can click on that. And Tom's now visiting with me for his conference, and we're going through this document. There are 2 parts to his goal setting document. There's part 1, data analysis and goal setting, and then there's part 2 that happens at the summative conference. So over the first 6 weeks of school, I'm going to go over just part 1. So Tom and I are going to visit what type of data analysis is he using to get student achievement, what type of data analysis is he using to look at his own professional growth areas. From there, we might talk about his goals and what he's achieving this year. At this conference, I would also recommend that you're going to talk about the fact that they're in a cycle 1 or a cycle 2 appraisal instrument. So you're going to be doing walkthroughs and a formal observation, or just walkthroughs. So let's take a look at Tom's appraisal status. Notice that he was in cycle 2. So he's only required to do a goals document, which I may have just had his goals conference with him. He's required to have 2 walkthroughs, and he's required to have a summative. That's how you can determine whether or not your person's on cycle 1 or cycle 2 and what's required. So during the first 6 weeks of this year, we need to make sure that each teacher that you are appraising has completed 2 goals, you have approved the goals, had a conference, and gone over their 2016 T-TESS goals and self-assessment with them. In further videos, we'll discuss the walkthrough documents and the formal observation documents, as well as the summative conference documents. I hope this has helped you get your appraisal set up for the new school year.